Hey everybody, Eric Anthony here with Egnyte, and I am here with Dana Sell from the channel company, and we just wanted to take a couple of minutes and talk about the state of the industry, what we're seeing here at Xchange, and kind of describe the excitement and the energy that we're feeling at this kind of first in-person Xchange since the pandemic. So Dana, what has it been like for you, obviously with the channel company, kind of on the inside? What are you seeing, especially from partners?
The energy is palpable. You can feel it as soon as you walked into the hotel. I mean, even when I ran into some folks at the airport, like yourselves,
like me,
and everyone is just talking about how excited they are to get back to face, how to see what else is going on out there in the industry, and just that notion of being connected and sharing ideas and maybe having these kind of intermittent conversations in the hallway, which kind of forgot how much I missed that.
Yeah, and I mean that's kind of why I wanted to do this video, right?
Yeah.
Because these are the kinds of conversations that you get into, when you're having that type of face-to-face interaction. And you're absolutely right. The palpable energy that the partners and the vendors have at this event is just amazing. And I think the way that Xchange is run, to me, even fosters that more. I mean, especially to me, the boardrooms are where it's at. So what are you seeing like in the boardrooms and things that are kind of an indicator of that energy?
Well, the cool thing is this year we tried something new, this whole notion of adopt a sponsor. And essentially what that meant was, all those sponsors that came, and there's over 100 of them at this event this year. It's one of the biggest we've ever had. All of those sponsors, including yourselves, were paired up with one of our advisory board members. And we can't thank those board members enough for what they do and the time they spend. And since we had so many new sponsors this year, to help them coach the sponsors of how to do a better boardroom, to how to have a better strategy, and really kind of think through. It's not just about the products; it's about the solutions and how to enable customers along their digital transformation journey. And so I really would say the notion is there's higher level conversations, more strategic conversations going on that I'm hearing versus maybe just simple product and solution pitch.
Right, yeah, and I've done Xchange for, I don't know, at least the past 4 or 5, maybe even 6 years under one logo or another. And it just, even though I've been through it, I've done boardroom presentations before, having that call with that boardroom advisor was really, even if it's just to bounce what you've already put in your slide deck and come up with your strategy for your presentation, really helped to bounce it off somebody who is a partner, who knows what the other partners are expecting and want out of a boardroom presentation.
100%. And there's also, this multiplier effect that goes on. When you're talking to the partners, you're doing a boardroom meeting, you're talking to the advisory board folks, you've got to remember it's not just those folks that are in that room. You deliver, a great presentation, you inspire some thought. Those folks, they're going to go and they're going to go to the lunches and the dinners and the breakfast, and they're going to tell that story. And they're going to say, hey, did you see that Egnyte presentation? Did you hear what they're talking about? I'm thinking about this now, and the word travels extremely fast. And so, a few really strong presentations goes a long way towards that entire audience. And again, it's one of those things where you kind of, you don't think about, in the last year and a half, but how important that is now that we can do that.
Yeah, now, speaking of the past year and a half, what are you hearing out there from partners that other MSPs might be interested in terms of what their success has been like or what their failures have been over this, what can only be called an incredibly unique situation over the past year and a half?
Totally. I mean, we were talking about this earlier. A lot of partners here are having some of the best years of their careers, of their businesses. And a lot of partners have told me that, obviously, with what's going on with the pandemic, there's a lot of negative to it. But if there's a silver lining, it's that those conversations about cloud migration and the need to better protect your customers with more, robust security offerings. The pandemic and all that came with it forced the MSPs and the solution providers to really take that seriously. And now the customers are listening and they're asking for it versus trying to, tell the story of why it's important. Now they're being asked for it. And the other thing is, we did a lot of research on, especially like in the mid-marketplace, the mid-market is thriving right now as well. For all of those that had struggles throughout, the pandemic, there's even more that are looking to thrive and grow. But to get there, they need to understand what digital transformation means to them.
Right.
And so, it's on the solution providers, the MSPs, the manufacturers, the vendors, the OEMs, and us to help evangelize, tell that story, educate, so that then, everyone is in the full understanding of what digital transformation could mean, and how all of these businesses can thrive together.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, that mid-sized business is critical, because that's a little bit new for some of these MSPs, because they're starting to upscale. They're starting to go up market to larger clients, and we're seeing it with co-managed IT, right? So, because they don't have the internal resources to do that digital transformation that you're talking about. And the other thing that we're seeing, especially on our side at Egnyte, is on the data governance and compliance piece, there's a lot more focus now on protecting the data rather than the endpoint. And so we're seeing a lot of digital transformation around that philosophy of, okay, is it more important to secure the endpoint or the data now? And everybody's coming back to the data, because that's what has to stay compliant. That's what needs to stay secure, because if it's encrypted or it gets out, that's where you start having a problem.
And that just goes to the notion of talking about a strategy, talking about a solution. It's not about the products, but it's what that integrated mix in the portfolio, and who does it better than the IT solution provider or MSP? That's what they do. They've been doing it for a long time, and now it's going to even accelerate faster. And you guys are in a great position to be a part of that. You have to be a part of that. And the solution providers, they're looking for it, they're seeking it, they're hungry for growth. Who's going to help them along that journey? So,
right, yeah, there's so much going on there, and we really want to help the solution provider, because the MSPs really have an advantage here, because they have knowledge and they have so many clients in different industries, and all those clients have different needs. So those MSPs really need to be listening to what their clients need and paying attention to the market and knowing what requirements are being placed on those industries, because right now it's changing almost daily.
Oh, definitely.
And so having that type of expert, in the solution provider, being able to come in and recommend the right solutions specifically for that business in that industry is extremely important right now. And I don't want to give away too much of my boardroom presentation, but I'm going to be talking about the strategy of how you go in and you talk to clients and the different points that you need to make, as well as the questions you need to ask about their industry, about what their cyber insurance looks like.
100%.
All of those different things play a part in their role as the trusted technology provider.
Yeah, you nailed it. Trusted technology providers, but they have to become, and just like we mentioned, cyber insurance, I think that is something that's about to take off on a completely new level.
Yeah.
It's been around, but there's few out there right now that are building programs that look like what a traditional partner program would look like. And it's familiar, it's trusted, and it just goes back to what you said. You're going to help these MSPs build the best type of solution for each type of customer they have, versus being a one-size-fits-all thing. That's
Exactly.
great.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Well, Dana, it's been great talking to you. I know I'm going to see you quite a bit, over the next 2 days, and see you back in Raleigh too.
It means a lot that you guys are here, and this is something we're very proud of, and we're excited, and we know it's going to be a great experience for you. And we look forward to the future.
Yeah, being part of the channel I've been on the vendor side for almost 8 years now, and the channel company has always run, not just good ROI events for vendors, but I think it's some of the most knowledgeable content for the partners as well. So
that's great.
We really appreciate it, and I know as a vendor it works for us. So
thank you.
Thanks.